survivor. So be sure to tune in as we get to find out how she moved from being a victimized woman to the strong, ambitious, and successful Quinta that she is today. How did you bring Quinta back?
It wasn't easy because at that time I met my cousin, and already I had smoked a lot of weed. My eyes were yellow.
Oh, wow.
And I had shaved, so I was really looking like my identity had just changed. So the guys who knew me before and they were seeing me, then it'd be like, Quinta, you're not okay. Have you? And when I tell them the story, because they knew our relationship, they'd say, you are actually hurting and you need to find yourself, and you can only do that by either doing the things that you loved doing then or going for therapy.
True.
So I decided I'd join the gym, which I did. I spoke to him because he had agreed to pay for my bills. So I spoke to him and he agreed to pay for my bills. And I think going to the gym is what slowly started giving me, or rather helped me start finding myself. But then at the gym, I think when someone has been heartbroken, they sort of run into another relationship quickly for rebound. So while at the gym, I met another guy, I think immediately just after 2 weeks, and we were already starting to talk, and he was a divorcee.
Oh my God.
I am hurting from a long-term relationship. So we got to speak, to talk, and we went out. I think I hadn't gone out for so long. So I think
it was new.
When I was hurting and I really wanted to let it out, I found myself drinking too much or smoking too much. So when we went out, I drank so much, and we went to his place and we had sex. And life continued, I continued going to the gym, but I got curious to know about this man. So you know, we had sex and it was unprotected. So one day, because I'm Luya, and I meet another Luya lady who does cleaning at the gym, and I'm asking her about this guy.
This guy.
How's he? And the lady tells me, "Usikanyage hapo."
Oh
this
my
guy
God.
is positive. I'm like, wait, you know, I don't want to show her
that you've actually been there.
But you know, she killed me there and then. This is at the gym. I still remember seeing sweat on my hands, because
I can
the
imagine.
conversation I'm having with this man is, are you safe? Already it was an issue on my side, because this is it's never safe to just meet someone you haven't tested for HIV and you're already having unprotected sex with them. Of course, I may not blame it on alcohol, but I should have done better, you know.
True.
So these are the conversations I'm already having with this man, and I'm asking an innocent lady at the gym who has no interest whatsoever with him, but she tells me that. I mean, she's trying to protect her relative, you know, like her tribe mate. Yet. I didn't exercise. I think I didn't have the energy.
Did you consider
at that moment
facing the guy?
He was out of the country.
Oh my God.
So I can't even call him. You see the way you're angered and you're having so much rage and you want to call. He's not in the country. He's not even online. So I went to the VCT, I did the test. It was okay, but already my mind was corrupt.
You were just focused on...
I was told to wait for 3 months, and I think that is where I just sank into depression and sank. For the 3 months, I was only smoking, drinking, sleeping. Smoking, drinking, sleeping. It was a bad moment in my life during that time.
So how did you come to actually realize that you have been emotionally violated and you need help?
So at that time when I spoke to this guy, he came back to the country, we went to do the test, he was okay. But you see, already for me, I couldn't believe. Already he had gotten into my head. So at that moment, I was already planning to die by suicide. I had already planned how I'm going to end my life. This one moment, yes, I did. I planned, I walked from the gym, I came all the way to the Nyali Bridge.
Okay.
And just before I threw myself...
Wait. So you left the gym, walked all the way to Nyali Bridge, and you were sure you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining you're standing beneath... Okay, you're standing, you know, on that footpath on the bridge. Yeah. What's going through your head? Ain't you scared?
I want to end my life because I can't be... I have lost a 7-year relationship. I am positive because at that time that was going in my mind. Where do I stand, or rather, what do I tell people in the village? Already, I'm the first one. what do I tell my family? What do I say? People will never believe I got it from a one-night stand. They'll definitely say maybe I was selling myself.
True.
You get the
and
stigma.
I can also try to imagine being a firstborn and the pressure that comes along with it.
Ending my life at that time was the best solution. And I think when I was served from the bridge and then I was taken into the hospital and I spoke to the doctors about what was happening, they're the ones who helped me to actually know I was mentally ill.
Okay.
So they referred me to a psychiatrist in Nairobi. So I went to Nairobi. And my journey just shifted.
It shifted from that point
into now being hospitalized, therapy, medication, and just calming down. And of course, getting sober for the first time.
So were your parents aware that you're going through this? So
the only people that knew were my cousins who were in Nairobi because they had to be close to me.
Okay.
And it was because I felt like I was actually reaping what I sowed.
Do you think you were probably ashamed or embarrassed of the situation you found yourself in?
Absolutely. And I think those are the reasons why I didn't tell them. I felt like they would still judge me. And you know, when you feel like you've done something that you deserve.
True.
So I felt like I deserved that. And they didn't need to help me in any way. I came back to school. After the 3 months, I came back to school. And I think one of the ways that helped me heal was through telling my story.
Okay.
So when I came back to school at the Technical University of Mombasa, I started sharing my story, and this was by vying as a president. And I was the first female to vie as a president in school. And it didn't come easy because I got a lot of backlash from students. Initially, they knew me as a slay queen.
True.
And here I was trying to tell them what life really was like for me. You know? And through sharing my story, I started a safe space in school, actually, Coffee with Quinta. And that was just to help other students also tell their
own stories.
And I think one of the ways that I saw was a lot of individuals were hurting, but they didn't have a safe space. So Coffee with Quinta provided that. And through telling my story, a lot of students really shared their stories as well. So I think by doing that, the school recognized my work, and they actually called me to speak to the first years who are coming in September, and this is in 2018, who are joining school in September to speak to them. And these are like more than 6,000 first years.
I remember because I was there.
Oh, you were among the first years that I spoke to?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? So, oh, really? So I was speaking to the first years about my ordeal and my experiences as a campus student.
True.
And I got a lot of publicity from media, and these already took my story to another level. So the moment I featured on the Daily Nation group wanted to tell my story because they had seen me speak to you people in these first years. And so I agreed to that, and I told my story to them because at the time I had already founded my organization, Girls for Girls Africa Mental Health Foundation, and at the time I had already started my subspaces Coffee with Quinta. Yes. So when I featured on the newspaper on the 18th of October 2018, just speaking about my story, my suicidal ideation, my life at the psychiatric ward, my story literally, I featured on the newspaper on the 18th, and then my ex now released my nudes on the 19th.
Oh my God.
So another blow.
So what happens now?
Yeah.
Because now I can imagine you're somewhere outside there in the light of the media. Everyone is looking at you, the spotlight is on you. And then all of a sudden, your nudes are out there.
It wasn't easy, but I thank my family because already I had attempted suicide. So they knew I would again want to take my life, you know. And so they were very close to me, but my standing in the community was never the same. He sent out my nudes, my videos, and it wasn't not so good videos. He sent to my family, my parents, my dad, my mom, church, everywhere, literally everywhere, blogs were made. And I think the force within me is I remembered the younger Quinta. Remember I wanted to be a lawyer. Remember I had all these dreams with me. And I think one thing that kept me pushing was I sent these pictures to this man. He's used them against me. I may never get the chance to tell people exactly how
what had happened,
but I'm gonna say my truth. Those are my videos. I may never run away from them, but I'm never gonna let them silence me. In fact, I'm gonna use these videos and these pictures to speak more about them, to speak more about the violence that women and girls go through in communities, to speak more for the voiceless, because a number of women and girls have gone through the same.
Very
and because of their voicelessness, they have had to even die by suicide. They have had to leave social media for the rest of their lives. And so I saw that as another opportunity for me
to make a difference.
And
but I think that
it didn't come easy, because I fell into depression. I went for therapy a number of times, and that is where I think writing my books started from.
I think that is really brave of you to just come out, share your story, and try to help somebody else outside there who's been in the same situation. But then you have gone through so much, and I'm here thinking, if you had a chance to change your history, what would you do?
Nothing. I wouldn't change anything, but what I would change would definitely be how I look at things. That happens, especially not just things, but violence against women.
Yes.
I think perpetrators still walk freely.
They do.
Just because maybe the survivors don't have enough resources, or rather have enough evidence to hold them against.
It is very true.
One of the things that I've, even working with other survivors, I think one of the things I keep promising is I'm going to make sure if I'm helping a survivor, it has to be from a holistic approach. So one of the things I would definitely change, I would never change anything about my story. It happened the way it did. I'm grateful because it gave me insights that I'm now drawing wisdom from, and knowledge from, and experience from, to help other survivors. And I think looking back, I'm just happy and proud of myself for carrying through all that mess and for being the person I am today.
So I'm thinking, right now, you're, let's say, 25, 26?
25.
Yes. And everything happened when you were 21.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe there's somebody outside there who's 21 and is also going through hell. So would you tell us, if you were to come face to face with your 21-year-old self, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
So this is a letter to my younger self.
Yes.
Literally, letter to my 21-year-old self.
Yes.
I'd tell her she's beautiful, she's authentic, she's brave, and she's enough.
She is.
Because I have learned over time that what people do to us does not mirror who we are. It mirrors who they are.
So true.
And so I have to remain true in myself, true in my purpose, and true in my vision and who I want to be. And that is the reason why, even as I work with other survivors in the community, I want them to know that it was never their fault.
So true.
And they're enough, and their story is valid, and their trauma is actually valid.
I think just like Quinta has told us right now, in most scenarios, we shouldn't take to heart what other people say about us, especially when it's all negative, because at the end of the day, it doesn't reflect on who we are, but rather it mirrors on who they are. And also, as she says, at this point in time, we may feel like we do not have places to go and people to talk to, but we do. And that's why we're here, to create a brave and safe space for such candid and open conversations. Quinta has an organization, G4G. They do have offices in Mombasa, so if you're nearby, you can always walk in there and you will find someone to talk to you. The same thing applies for the International Center for Reproductive Health. They also do have offices, and they also have open spaces and brave spaces where you can walk in and tell your stories. You do not have to suffer alone. You do not have to hide in silence, because you are brave, you are authentic, you are beautiful, and whatever it is, you can get over it. So thank you so much, Quinta, for joining us today and for sharing your story. We are happy to have you. So for today, we are really grateful, and we're also grateful for the International Center for Reproductive Health for partnering with us, the students of the Technical University of Mombasa, and be able to make this come true. So until next time, people, be sure to join us onto our second episode where we will be tackling more issues concerning gender-based violence. Whether you're a man or a woman, your story deserves to be heard. Thank you.